Welcome, everybody. Sports Book Review. This is the Odds Couple. I'm Mike Brenner. Flying solo today. Pistol Pete is still up in Harlem, New York. I'm talking once again with Ross Benjamin from RBWins.com. All right, this is a long season in baseball. You got to ride the flow, ebb and tides. Ross and I yesterday both liked Seattle and the Mets, and guess what? They didn't show up. So it's a bounce-back night, and that's what it's all about. That separates the men from the boys. So with that being said, Ross, great to have you on. Let's get right into it. Hit us with your first play, and I think a bounce back is imminent. And do you have it in you to sweep the board possibly?
I do. And you know what? I wish Pete a lot of luck as he's trying out for the Globetrotters as we speak. And I'm sure he'll earn that point guard position. Anyway, let's get serious here. Kansas City and Texas at Arlington tonight. Nate Karns for Kansas City. Two very good starts so far this year, posting a 1.54 ERA in those outings. You know what you're going to get from Cole Hamels. He hasn't been his typical dominating self, but still pretty good. 3.50 ERA in 4 starts. Big thing to keep in mind tonight, Michael, as far as regards to how I factored into this pick, is the weather forecast in Arlington tonight. Winds will be blowing in from right field 15 to 18 miles an hour. That's significant. This is a Kansas City team, Mike's gone 7-0 under the total in their last 7 games. During that course of the time, their pitching has been fantastic. They've allowed only 7 runs total in those 7 games. However, their offense has been anemic all season long, especially so of late. 4 runs combined scored in the last 4 games. Texas, not much better offensively. They do hit a lot of home runs, Mike, although they've tailed off a bit in that regard of late. But this is a Rangers team that's hitting just 206 as a team on the season. I'm going to go with this game to go under the total of 8.5.
I couldn't talk you off that ledge. Kansas City, you nailed it. That offense is anemic. Their pitching has really stepped up. I kind of saw that coming, but what I didn't see was Texas, the inconsistency in their batting order and with the strength of their bats, and as you touched on, with the home runs. I like this call because Karns, he looked real sharp his last 2. We know what Hamels can bring, and right now he's got to have that game. So I like that play under 8.5. What was the best shop line for that?
I didn't look at the money line price on that. So it was 8.5 across the board. So, you know what? The juice only counts when you lose, Mike. So
that's right.
Just play the under 8.5.
You got it. I love it. All right. Milwaukee is playing St. Louis today. Here's a game that we're both on as well. I'm going to be riding the first half with Peralta, the first 5 innings. What are your thoughts on this? And is Wainwright going to be continually pounded and pounded and pounded?
Well, you know what? I agree with your assessment there on Milwaukee, and I'm not a big proponent of playing the first 5 innings. I know you are, but I can't disagree with that whatsoever based on these 2 starting pitchers alone. As far as Wainwright goes, Mike, yeah, I mean, you're looking at a guy that's been injury-riddled over the last couple of years, missing an entire season. In 2015, missing a good portion of last year. And now he's off to a horrible start, 0-3 in his first 3 starts with a 7.24 ERA and a monster 2.20 WHIP. So he's actually very fortunate that his ERA isn't even higher than 7.24. Conversely, Wiley Peralta, 3-0 so far this year with a 2.65 ERA. Mike, you know what people need to realize? This Milwaukee Brewers ball team, even though they're only 9-8, they have some power in that lineup. They've hit 16 home runs in their last 7 games, 31 home runs so far in 2017. Man, oh man, if they keep up on that pace, they're going to hit 295 home runs this year and set a Major League Baseball record. I'm sure that pace won't continue, but my point being they're very dangerous in that regard. And against a struggling starting pitcher and a struggling St. Louis bullpen, I think they can take advantage tonight. St. Louis, by the way, 1-5 to start the year on the road. I'm going with Milwaukee here. Best shop line I saw was plus 106, and that's at Bet Online.
And you know what? When I saw that line, I scratched my head. There's something wrong, I kept saying. You know, Wainwright is on the road, and that's when he's in that rut, he really struggles on the road. This Thames kid, they've been riding his bat, and this is going to be a dangerous team. I like the direction they're going. I love it. Again, I pulled the trigger on the first half and got plus money. Ross, what are your thoughts on the line? Is something stink here, or are they just missing this?
The bottom line is the average bettor, Major League Baseball bettor, that doesn't look and research deep inside the numbers, is just looking at the pitching matchup and thinking this is the Adam Wainwright of old, and he's not, and the St. Louis Cardinals of old, and they're not, because this team isn't hitting whatsoever, Mike. I mean, their bats have been silent, and their starting pitching hasn't been great, especially Wainwright, and their bullpen has been shaky at best. So I think that it's early in the year, and the bettors haven't caught up to what's really going on with these two ball clubs.
Yeah, I agree, because when you lost Holiday, John Jay a few years back, I mean, they lost so much power, and they haven't replaced it with much consistency. But what you said really, really makes sense to me. That bullpen is struggling, and Mike Matheny's got his hands full trying to turn that team around. All right, here we go. San Francisco and Colorado. Do you have a call on this game, and where's the edge?
Yeah, Mike, it's very difficult to pull the trigger, on going under the total in a game at Coors Field. But that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Look at Johnny Cueto, 5 starts versus Colorado last season. This is his first this year against the Rockies. A 1.45 ERA in those 5 starts. And since 2014, Cueto has made 3 starts at hitter-friendly Coors Field, and he compiled a 1.23 ERA in those 3 outings. Tyler Chatwood, since May 27th of last year, 4 starts versus San Francisco. How about a 0.31 ERA in those outings, Mike? And that includes a 2-hit complete game shutout in early April, let's say, against the Giants earlier this season. And San Francisco, 4 straight unders, 8 of their 9 previous game have gone under the totals. And then Colorado, 4 straight unders, and also 12 of their last 14 games have gone under the total. Colorado bullpen, by the way, very good this season, 2.62 ERA. And the San Francisco bullpen, Mike, started out struggling, but an 0.89 ERA over the last 7 starts. I'm going to go under the large total of 10 in this game, Mike.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of all of those stats. Cueto, I mean, anybody with, if I'm correct, a 1.23 in Coors Field, that is unheard of, because that's the venue where pitchers go to die. I like this. I think actually this number's a little bit high. Are you a big totals guy in baseball, Ross?
Yeah, big totals guy. As a matter of fact, I've gone 14-4 with my last 18 totals at my website, which is rbwins.com.
Wow, fantastic. And speaking of which, let's give a well-deserved plug for your webpage. What can they find there, Ross?
Well, I've been in business since 2002, Mike. As opposed to a lot of guys in this industry, I don't have a second job. Like yourself, I do this full-time. This is my total gig. It's been my total gig for the last 15 years. So you're getting somebody who dedicates their life to doing this as far as their work goes. As a matter of fact, if you go to rbwins.com right now, I'm offering 1 week at $199, 1 month at $5.99, which would include all my selections in Major League Baseball, NBA, and the NHL. Because you heard me on SBR and you indicate that to me when you call me at 781-571-0299, I'll give you a 2-for-1 special. $199 for 2 weeks and $5.99 for 2 months. 781-571-0299. Coming off a 3-0 sweep in the NHL last night. And you could also find me at sbrpicks.com, where I put out daily articles as well. Again, folks, 781-571-0299. The website, rbwins.com.
Where you pay a little to win a lot. God, I love it. Hey, my man, I know you have been on a tear in NHL, so viewers, make sure you check that out. And please, please keep a keen eye to the articles that Ross writes. He's sharp, and guess what? That cashes tickets. All right, Ross, have a great weekend. Let's knock this bookie out, and we'll talk again next week.
Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.